What's up, all you fanatics of the campus gridiron? Glad you could join us here for another edition of Gridiron Gab Triple Option. Whether it's the TDs on and off the campus gridiron or the extra points made during the recruiting wars, we'll gab about it. Let's start gabbing. Welcome back, all you campus gridiron fanatics. Hope you guys are doing great out there, having a great week, and your families are doing great. I am, of course, Mr. CeeLo, back here giving you a major matchup here that is going to be broadcast tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, my time zone, between the undefeated Utah Utes and the 19th ranked Oregon State Beavers, who just suffered their first defeat in Pullman this weekend, which I called, against Washington State. Now, guys, before we go into this show, this quickie, guys, make sure you go by Gridiron Gab Triple Option and let me know which major matchup you guys want to have me preview, because tomorrow is going to be a busy day for Mr. CeeLo, and I'm going to be trying to get all of these broken down for you guys. But please go to the Facebook page. I'm going to do a better job of getting these things out faster than just one day notice. But let's look at Utah and Oregon State. As you guys have heard me say many a times throughout this year, the Pac-12 is as packed as the SEC has ever been. Yes, you heard me say it. They only got a handful of teams in this conference that are absolutely bad. I mean, we watched that Oregon State Wazoo game last week, and it was a nail-biter. And I'm just of the essence. They have good enough teams here that could play in 2 slots this year. Yeah, that's what a lot of people are going to say. I don't believe you, but you need to stay up late and watch. And I really have a problem when people say there's not good football played after 9 o'clock. I'm sorry, guys. I got a guy coming in talking to me about the Thursday night game, NFL game. But I think this battle is going to be... Utah's defense has been phenomenal. You know, considering... And I'm not trying to be mean. Cam Rising has not played yet. And honestly, I don't know if he's going to be ready. Now, according to the AP Press, they're saying he took reps. He split reps with Nate Johnson. Nate Johnson is an athletic guy, but he ain't that dude. And he could very well cost this Utah team. And right now, with them only being 10th, a loss here could be painful. I know what people are going to say. Well, they could lose here and it not affect them. Well, a lot of the reason why I'm saying it's going to affect them is because for them to win a game 14-7, yeah, that's impressive. Without your best weapon, that speaks volumes. That tells me that you're winning games ineffectively without your quarterback and without any offense. Now, with that being said, Utah's going to have to get it together because they have a week off, and then they have Cal, and then they basically in 3 weeks they got to go to LA for USC, then they have Oregon, Arizona State, and then they have Washington. So you're talking about 3 of the next 5 games, and I wouldn't even look past California, even though they're now not ranked after that thrashing they took from Washington. But I don't think this will affect them. But they've got a huge task ahead of them, being Utah. And honestly, I'm going to keep it in perspective for you. Utah could very well find themselves out of this race before it even really got started for them. They do get some time off, but then you saw Oregon State, as I told you guys in a Gridiron Gab triple option last week. Oregon State begins a brutal part of their schedule. They have Utah this week, then they go at California next week. But this package, oh my goodness, this is just not fair. Then, listen to this, guys. They've got Utah this week, then they're at California, then they have UCLA, then they go to Arizona, then they've got at Colorado, and they finish Washington at home with Washington, and then they go to Austin Zoo. The only thing you can say that was good about this schedule is nothing. Nothing. So even with Oregon State's best shot, they've already lost to Wazoo. This is why I said this is what the SEC, take note. This is what a tough schedule looks like. You know, not just Alabama on it, or not just Georgia on it, or not just a Tennessee team that looks good this year. It's loaded, a loaded conference. That's when you're in the toughest conference. Not when you have 4 cupcakes on there, you know. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I'm rooting for the Pac-12 because this is a tough schedule. Pac-12 did not do these guys any justice by the scheduling. They did not. And I'm looking for a really good game. We really haven't talked much about the players yet. I'm trying to get into that guy. Wazoo game, he was sacked 3 times and he threw 3 interceptions. So you're talking about a guy who could, can throw it, but then again, he has the knack to throw the, how do I say this, well, I'm sorry, I'm wrong. He threw 2 interceptions in the San Diego State game. I'm sorry. He threw 1 interception last week, and he threw 1 touchdown against Wazoo, and he only threw for 198, whereas the previous couple of games, he was really lighting it up. But, we can sit here and we can point fingers at DJ against inferior competition, he's a superstar, or he's not that dude. And then looking over at the Utah side, there's not much else to say about this team. They play excellent defense. They get after you. They really, really play at a high level when it comes to, just getting to the ball. I mean, getting to the ball in general, these guys swarm to it. One of the, I would argue one of the best defenses in the country. You have a lot of people picking. I would even go over and say the Oregon State Beavers are 58% favorites to win this game. I would venture to say, and I'm not just saying Cam Rising's going to come out there game 1 and be able to light it up. I'm not saying that. But I'm going to be honest with you. It looked like Cam Rising was going to play last week. I think Utah's under the impression, and we can look at their schedule real quick, guys. I guess they're under the impression they can take one on the chin and give him 2 more weeks to prepare. Give Cam Rising 2 more weeks to prepare, take this loss. And I'm going to be honest with you. There's no argument here with me that if Utah beats USC in the Coliseum, beats Oregon at home, and then goes to Washington and beats Washington, I would say, okay, let's say this were the scenario, guys. Let's say Oregon State wins this game by, let's say, 2 touchdowns. How far do they drop? I'll say, judging by what they've done, I'm going to say they drop down possibly to 17. Then you go to California, get a good win, you move up 1 spot. Then you drag USC in at number 8 in the Coliseum. You win this game, let's say you win by 2 touchdowns. That shoots you back up, in my opinion. That's going to shoot you up as the top rated number 1 loss team. And let's say Notre Dame's at number 9. That's going to shoot you back in the top 10, possibly at 8. Or possibly, we'll say 9. Then you have Oregon, who's going to shoot up because they're undefeated. Let's say they're at number 5 at this point. That's going to shoot you at the number 5 to number 4 position in itself. Then you've got number 7, Washington, a team who's probably 3 by now, 3 or 4. So guess what? You've shot yourself back into this whole playoff picture. So I see what they're doing here in Utah. I see what they're doing, but I'm not sure I'm willing to go that route. I guess they're saying I would rather have Cam Rising with 2 weeks of rest and possibly 3 weeks because they've got Cal. I do think Cal's got enough firepower to make some noise. I was watching that game that they played last week, and honestly, for them to be able to even, and this is just my opinion, for them to even play on the same level with Washington to score 32 points, I know people are going to say they took them out. I'll say this. I do think that a lot of people are going to say they don't believe that they can pull this rush. And I do. I believe they can. I believe they can very well pull this thing out. But I'm not sure that I, for one, am looking at the Cal game, and I'm looking at, to a degree, that the Golden Bears are going to give Utah much trouble, but they can throw it. So there's a little fear that goes into that. They may go 3 weeks. I don't know. They may go 3, maybe another month before they're willing to risk putting them in there. But I'm of the essence that that's the game that Utah is going to try and play. They're going to go that route, and it would not surprise me if Cam Rising doesn't dress tomorrow night and they take the L. But we did say that last week, and Utah still managed to pull out a 14-7 win. But I think it's getting to the point where you can't keep just leaning on your defense. So I'm just going to look at it, and I'm going to say that I believe, this is just me, Oregon State being at home, I'm going to call a 24. No. I'm going to call this a 17-13 victory for Oregon State. Now, this is barring Cam Rising not playing. Now, if Cam Rising playing, I'm going to swing towards Utah. I think Utah wins this game if Cam Rising plays, but it's going to be something along the lines of 20-17. But guys, let me know what you think. This is an exciting matchup. I'm like really ecstatic that we've got a top 25 matchup, arguably a top 15 matchup between Utah and Oregon State. But as I said, you heard my prediction, guys, and honestly, I look at it from the standpoint this is going to be a fun night on Friday night. But until the next time, guys, the next time you're out there grilling on a campus tailgate on a Saturday afternoon, remember, same Gap channel, same Gap platform.